It's done. You know, if you don't finish school, then, you know, you got to think about what you want to do after basketball. And, you know, at that time, I met my amazing girlfriend, who's now my wife. We've got 4 beautiful kids, you know, now. Thanks, appreciate it. And just big blessing. And so I was really started thinking about the future, man. And I watched my brother go over there, do some great things overseas, but I just didn't really feel like it was for me, you know. He had to earn everything that he did over there to get to the position he was at, you know. And so I changed my degree from whatever the easiest degree I signed up in the beginning to business. And I started going down. I was like, you know what? If they're paying for this, I might as well try and get something that could potentially help me after school, you know? So basketball really started coming second, you know, my junior year, senior year. I really just kind of focused in. And we just went from that, man. Played basketball, you know, got the good grades and really started thinking long term, man, you know?
So you had your after basketball awakening quite early. For most of the players who I speak to, even such as myself, it's like, you know, you play college, after college, like literally just as your brother. Go play Europe, earn as much money as you possibly can, and then move on to adult life. Do you see what I'm saying to you? And stop playing basketball.
100%, man.
You know, but you from that early to have that thought, and now, okay, so now you know you're going into your senior year. You met the people you spend the rest of your life with. Now you're done with school. You're okay with not playing basketball. You said it's not for you, and now, in essence, your basketball career is over, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I was fine with that. With that. You know, when you go to college and play, you get a full ride scholarship. But like anything in life, nothing's free. You know, you got to give blood, sweat, and tears to earn that. You know that. You know, everyone out there, when someone gives you something, there's always something in return. So I knew that had kind of sunsetted for me. And now when I look back to tell everyone, even today, is basketball's just a tool. That's all it is. It's a tool and it's a gift from God that he's given you, you know, but it only lasts for a certain amount of time. So the question is, what are you going to do with that tool? You know, and so for me, it was, hey, come to the States, get a degree. And now it's like, hey, do I go home or do I try and make something of it? Well, I figured I'd try and make something of it. So they give you 1 extra year. Once you get your degree, back then they give you a visa for 1 year to try out the workforce, right? Well, just like as I walked into that high school gym when I first came out here, I'm the man. I got my degree now. I'm the man. You know, I'm walking out. I get any job I want to. I can communicate well. I'm bloody good looking. And so I know I wouldn't have trouble getting a job, right?
Tell him.
I know I wouldn't have trouble getting a job. No, wrong, way wrong. You know, way wrong. No one would hire me, man. Nobody would hire me. Okay.
I know.
And the reason why they wouldn't hire me is because I was in between visa status, you know, and they don't play around with that out here. And so I'm sitting at home twiddling my fingers, man. Like, I got this degree, I check all the boxes, but no one's hiring me, man. So a job fair came open down the street, and you know what it's like in sports. You got to keep hustling, man, till the ball goes in the basket, right? So walked into the job fair, and there was about 50 different jobs there. The one place I didn't want anything to do with was the car salesman job, to sell cars. And so I checked all 49 places out. I tried to dodge the car sales. It was like, he got my attention. I was like, what in the? He called me over. I went and spoke with him, man. And dude, he was either God's gift from God or he was the best closer in the world, man, because he closed me just like that. He said, come up to the dealership. Cut long story short, about a week later, I was selling cars. I was like, what about my visa? Like, don't worry about the visa, man. We'll take care of that, man. So I started selling cars, man. Just trying to get in where I fit in, man.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
So I walked around that dealership like I walked around when I first came, like super confident, super cocky. But the difference, I didn't know anything. I knew something about basketball. I didn't know anything, but I was like, you know what, Chris, got to fake it till you make it, man. You know, people asked me, hey, I want to buy this car. I said, this way, guys. I'd read the back of the cars. I was like, I think it's this one. No, I think it's this one. I think it's this one. But because I was myself, I was just like, you know, be myself, shoot people straight. And that was the 2 things I just took, man, from what my parents had told me. Be genuine, be myself. people loved it, man. People loved it, man. They ate it up. They loved it. So then they promoted me, like after 2 months, into finance, man. Listen, bro, we went from freaking food stamps, man. We were on food stamps, bro, because I couldn't work. Like government assistance, no money, nothing, man. And I made a promise to myself. I always said, when I come to the States at 16, 17 years old, I'll never call back to my parents for money. Never. Because, number one, I knew they didn't have a whole bunch of money. Okay. But number two, I want to figure this out by myself, man. I knew I could be stronger for it, So we was on government food stamps, government cheese. I couldn't have a digital TV. I had to get a coat hanger and turn the channel, man. You know what I mean? And so now I started selling, man. I was hungry, ready to go, man. Just, got promoted into finance and went up from there, bro. Just went up from there, man.
Then you started soaring. So one of the things when you was talking about sales and in terms of confidence and in terms of being a straight shooter, in terms of being yourself, I've done a bit of sales when I was younger. I sold credit cards legally for a company in like Sainsbury's. To me, that was probably the best job I've ever had. And it was commission based. I didn't actually earn a lot of money from it, but the things that I learned from talking to people every single day and getting the no's and the rejections and just literally learning how to communicate and be confident. From selling credit cards when I was younger, bro, I used everything I learned from that job and that's right before I went to America, I used it in all walks of life. When I need to switch that on, hey, start tap dancing, start playing the trumpet, and before you know it, you've just bought some salt and you came in for sugar. But
yeah,
you know what I mean? So nah, definitely. I think selling is just fun. I don't understand why people don't sell. Like, it's just so much fun. And business is fun as well. So now you went from there, you've gone into finance. Now you're in finance. Are you still in finance with the car company? Because, I see some red and white stuff in the background. Like, could you explain to us what that is for people?
Yeah. So I did finance, and then there's so much correlation between sports, man. And if anyone's listening to this, you played any type of competitive sports, doesn't have to be the top or the bottom, but there's no difference in the business world, Like you said, you're going to take notes, people are going to block your shot. People are going to take the ball from you, but are you going to pout like a baby, or are you going to say, you know what, I'm going to go hard this next plane and make up for it, And there's no difference in the business world too, Can you play as a team? Can you motivate people? Can you inspire people? So I took all that same mindset into the business, man. And even when you're tired, you don't show your opponent you're tired. You just keep grinding, So that's what I did in the finance. Now, I didn't know anything about the finance. So I just took everything they told me, man. And I did what I was told to do. And I was myself, man. And I think that's the number one thing about business, You're always going to come across people on YouTube and read a book. And there's only one Mansour the Great, man. That's why they call him Mansour the Great. No one else can be Mansour the Great.
Yo,
right?
Mansour the Great is so great that no one gave him the name. He was so great that he gave himself the name. No, my granddad gave him the name. But yeah, I tell everybody that. Yeah.
Dude, no, it's true. I agree 100%.
I saw the little tail in your eye, bro. It's calm. But yeah,
but you're original, man. No one can be you, man. And I think
there's only one you. There's only one you. I think I can't remember.
Be yourself.
I can't remember who said it, but they said there's only one you. Why are you trying to be like somebody else when there's only one you? And I was speaking to someone yesterday, and I was like, we're so lucky to be alive, because do you know, if your parents was just tired that night, you probably would not be here. If you that's what I mean. So you've got to be grateful, you've got to be thankful, and definitely give praises to the Most High. Or if you believe in the universe, Buddha, or whatever you believe in, I believe whatever you believe in that makes you a better person, believe in that, and try and be a bit kind if you can. So before we move on, the one last thing before we move on is I show some of my friends your video of you and your daughter, and there was one video where your daughter's going for the layup, and you blocked the shot, like, but you've always got pictures of you and your daughter playing, and everyone's like, he's mean. I'm like, no, I would do the same thing. I was like, it's fun, and like, obviously your daughter, she's used to, she gets it, she's a baller, but like, those are the kind of things that I like seeing. I like seeing you push your daughter like you got pushed, and you know what it